You see, April, somewhere along the line, someone got the notion that the body buried in your husband's grave wasn't Draper Scott. So they dug him up, and they made a few tests. And I hope you can get your money back for the flowers for the funeral, because, darling, you buried the wrong man.
What?
Yes, it must be some insurance salesman in Draper's grave, because it sure isn't your husband.
You're lying.
You think so, huh? You ask Logan. And I'll see you in court.
All right. What Raven said about the autopsy, is it true?
Yeah, it's true.
Why didn't you tell me?
Certain questions were raised.
What questions?
Questions about proper identification. I didn't want to involve you till I had the answers.
And even after you had the answer, after you knew that it wasn't Draper's body in that grave, you didn't tell me.
I would have told you. I would have. As soon as the investigation was concluded. Look, try and put yourself in my place. I just didn't want to cause you any unnecessary pain.
It's just the deal you made with Raven, huh?
Yes.
You were willing to take a chance on losing your own son forever just to spare me some pain? Why didn't you just tell me the truth, Logan?
Because I don't know what the truth is. I doubt that I ever will.
Now, what's that supposed to mean?
Sorry, I didn't mean to be enigmatic. It's just I was afraid. I was afraid that Raven would tell you more than just that the bodies were misidentified.
What more could she possibly tell me?
Draper might still be alive.
Boy, anything I hate, it's a crying woman. Shut up, will you?
Frankie, what are we gonna do now?
I don't know. So, Draper Scott was a friend of cops, huh? Well, why should we think it'll be any different now?
Is it really possible that Draper could be alive?
I wish I could answer that. I can't.
How did it all happen? What gave you the idea that it might not be Draper's body in that grave?
It was an accident, really. My car was retained by some of the people that lost relatives in the train wreck in Grand Falls. You know, wanted him to look into the possibility of negligence on the part of the railroad. During the course of his investigation, the local police up there gave him their files which included photographs taken inside the cars by the rescue team. One of the photographs showed a pair of very badly burned bodies linked together by handcuffs.
Draper and Sam Dwyer.
Yeah. Except Mike noticed a discrepancy. The bodies were handcuffed. There, let me show you. Give me your right hand. They were handcuffed right hand to right hand.
That doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. The only conclusion we could come up with was that the bodies were separated sometime after the crash, and then the handcuffs were relocked later.
Why?
Don't know. But as long as the possibility existed that Draper had been freed, then the possibility also existed that when the cuffs were reattached, they were reattached to the wrong person. And since Draper had been a prisoner at the time of the wreck, Derek Mallory had authority to order an autopsy, so we went ahead and did it.
Logan, the body was very badly burned. How was it identified?
Miles checked Draper's dental records against the dental work of the body in the coffin, and they didn't match.
So Miles knows, too?
Yes, he does.
Let's see now. Mike and Nancy and and Miles and Nicole.
We all know. I wish you'd put yourself in our place. We didn't know for sure that anything would come of this, and we all felt, every one of us, that it would be very cruel to you to nurture any false hopes.
But it is possible that Draper could be alive somewhere.
Well, that's what Deborah and I went up to Graham County to try and find out about. We thought we had to investigate any possibility that Draper might have gotten free of the wreck and made an escape. Not that I mean he would try to avoid the law, at least not knowingly. Could have been injured, though, wandered away from the wreck site. So we tried to find out if anybody up there had seen a stranger in the vicinity that night.
Logan, if Draper did escape, he would have heard about his exoneration, and he would have contacted me.
Yeah, that's what we thought, too. So we think we have come up with the only possible explanation as to what might have happened to him. Now, the railroad car that he was riding in ended up half in and half out of that rain-swollen river. There were 4 or 5 corpses that were washed away during the rescue attempt.
You think he drowned?
Yes. And I think his body was swept out to sea, which accounts for the fact that we never recovered it. As you say, April, if he was alive, you would have heard from him.
God, it's like reliving that night all over again.
Don't you see? That is why we kept this from you. We didn't want you to live your life with an unanswered question hanging over your head.
You should have told me. Turned out the same anyway.
Well, you're right. I should have. But I felt that I had to find him, at least do my best to try. Can't you understand why it was so important to me?
Yes. You were his friend.
I told you that was the reason I would be lying. By then I knew how much I love you.
Oh, Mr. Swift, you're still here. I'm sorry, I've been so busy in the kitchen I didn't remember to ask you if you needed anything.
Well, thank you, Molly. It's very kind of you. If I need anything tonight, it's going to be a drink, and I know where the bar is.
Oh, well, I'll just get some ice. Be back in a minute.
Motley, I really don't think that will be necessary. Thank you. As a matter of fact, I think that will be all for the evening.
Yes, of course, Mrs. Scott.
Good night, Molly.
Before I go to bed, would you mind if I tried Miss Emily once again?
Of course not.
If you get in touch with her, would you let me know?
Oh, I'll do that, Mr. Swift.
Thanks.
Good night. Please be all right. Oh, please be home. Be home. Oh, please be home.
Oh, you know how Dr. Stewart is. During the examination, he made all of his obligatory oh. I was convinced I had about 5 seconds to live. But as it turns out, I'm not in bad shape.
Jeremy Stewart is a very fine doctor. If he says you're all right, then I have no doubt you are.
Of course, I'm not fit as a fiddle in the Stradivarius sense of the word. My blood pressure's a little bit on the low side.
That's because of an overloaded schedule.
Anyway, it was a very thorough examination, and I'll have a complete picture of my health in a few days when the tests come back from the lab.
Oh, you'll pass those tests with flying colors.
All except one.
What do you mean?
Oh, just for the heck of it, I asked Dr. Stewart to take a test and see if I might be expecting.
And what did he say about that?
Well, the examination didn't uncover anything that would indicate any inability to conceive.
Well, that's encouraging.
Sure is. Oh, I've got to go see Greg. I owe him an apology.
Whatever for?
Well, he was going to come in a little early tonight to help me edit a feature I'm working on. I spent so much time in Dr. Stewart's office. By the time I got back, Greg was on regular shift.
Dr. Stewart's waiting rooms are always full.
Oh, you know who I saw coming out just as I was going in? Nadine Scott.
Did she mention me by any chance?
No, we just exchanged hellos.
I wish I'd been there.
Why?
Nicole, I'm just sick about what's happened between us.
It is so strange that she'd be giving you the cold shoulder without any explanation.
She didn't want me to meet her at the airport. Refused to allow me to make a reservation for her here at a Monticello hotel. Refused to have dinner with me. I asked her to call me when she arrived, just to be sure that she'd landed safely, and I've never received that phone call.
There must be a reason.
For the life of me, I cannot understand why. It's like a friendship of 30 years vanishing in thin air.
Well, I know how much this friendship matters to you. I don't think you should let this go this easily.
I can't force Nadine to be my friend.
No, you can't, but you can approach her and you can ask her for an explanation for her change in attitude. It could be something very simple, just a simple misunderstanding. It could be cured in no time.
You're right. I'll call her this evening after dinner.
If you were to call her right now, you two might be having dinner together.
All right. After I finish this rundown, I'll make that phone call.
Very nice dinner, Raven. I enjoyed that very much.
Thank you. I'm glad you liked it. I called the caterer all by myself.
Raven's always had a way with the telephone.
Oh, Derek, don't you think you should call headquarters and see if they need you?
No, the dispatcher has my number here. If they need me, they'll call me.
You wouldn't believe how much the police department relies on Derek. They can't make any move without consulting him first.
Well, from the glowing reports Raven's provided, you've made a very positive mark on law and order in the city.
I just do my job, really.
Oh, I hope you're enjoying this evening, Derek.
Yes, I am very much.
Well, you seem so quiet all through dinner, and even now you don't appear to be all that comfortable.
Oh, that's just Derek's style. He's the strong, silent type.
Oh, Nadine, it's not usual for me to be a little shy around strangers, especially when I'm the topic of conversation.
Oh, Derek, you're so modest.
Well, situations like this can be trying. One is always conscious of putting their best foot forward.
Yeah, but the more I try, the more I usually put my foot in my mouth.
Well, you can relax, young man. The inquisition for this evening is over.
No, Derek has some fascinating stories.
Oh,
Come
Raven,
on.
enough.
Enough. I just want you two to get to know each other.
The evening is very young. I'm sure the two of you would much rather be by yourselves for a while. Why don't you go out for a nightcap?
Would you like to have a drink?
Yes, but we can't stay out too late, all right?
All right. Look, I hope you don't mind taking care of Jamie. Yeah. Maybe I could call a babysitter.
Oh, I wouldn't care of it. Keeping that boy company is no trouble at all.
Nadine, it was very nice to meet you.
It was a pleasure to meet you, Derek. I hope I'll have the opportunity of seeing you again before I wing my way back to merry old England.
That would be very nice.
Good night. Have a nice rest.
What did you forget?
Well, I told Derek I forgot my lipstick, but I wanted to talk to you. So what do you think of him?
Well, I must say I'm impressed.
Oh, great. I'm so glad you like him. Look, if I get back early enough, we'll have a nice long talk, okay?
Okay.
Good night.
Good night. Hello?
Nadine, it's Geraldine. I hope I didn't wake you.
If you called to talk to Raven, she's not here.
No, the person I want to speak to is you.
Geraldine, I was just planning to go to bed. If you don't mind, I'll say good night.
But I do mind. Nadine Scott, don't you dare hang up that phone.
I really am too exhausted, Geraldine.
Nadine, the rift that has occurred between us has been very upsetting to me. I simply cannot allow things to remain as they are between us.
I am too tired and too ill to talk about it tonight.
Then we'll talk about it tomorrow.
First thing in the morning, I'm going to be checking in at Monticello General.
Then I will call the hospital to find out your visiting hours.
I would prefer you didn't. Let's just leave things the way they are.
Oh, no. We've known each other too long for me to do that. I'm sorry, my dear. But I simply have to find out the reason why an old friend of 30 years suddenly refuses to see me.
Well, I think it went very well, don't you?
Things certainly went the way you wanted them to.
Mother adored you, I could tell.
The build-up you gave me, I was expecting her to kiss my ring out the way.
But Derek, come on. I'm proud of you. That's the reason I brag. What's wrong with that?
The only reason you wanted me to meet your mother was just to impress her with my job.
You think that's the only reason?
All you did was to talk about my heroic exploits. You made my contribution to the department seem like so much. Even I thought I was underpaid.
Well, okay. So I did want to impress my mother, but any girl would feel the same way.
I don't like being used.
Derek, I may have made you sound like a hero, but that's the way I see you. I meant every word I said.
I especially didn't appreciate the way you made it seem like wedding bells were imminent. I can't figure you out still.
Well, don't try, because if you do, I'll seem a lot less interesting to you. And you are interested, aren't you?
I met your mother, didn't I?
Derek, do you love me?
What did you say?
Well, come on. I don't expect an essay. A simple yes or no will do.
Look who just walked in. They're becoming regulars in this place, too.
I knew I should have picked the restaurant.
Calvin, do you think it was a wise idea for you to sign up for dance lessons with Gavin Wiley?
No, why would you ask that?
I don't know. I mean, you seem like you're a little bit too advanced for him.
Oh, well, thank you very much. No, Gavin's a little young, but he's a good dancer, knows a lot about it, and he's got a knack for teaching, you know.
Then how come he didn't stay in New York and try to make it on Broadway?
Well, from what I understand, he's spent a long time doing exactly that.
Didn't make it, huh?
No, well, you know, everybody can't be a star. Sometimes, to listen to him, I think he's pretty bitter about it, too.
I guess it's a pretty competitive business, huh?
Yeah. But anyway, for now, he's put all his energy into teaching. I guess he's going to drive his students to the top as kind of a reflection of himself or something. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Well, it wasn't hard to get you to give up that as a topic of conversation.
Well, Gavin Wiley isn't not at the top of my list of priorities
I
at the
see.
moment.
Let me see. You are thinking about Emily Michaels and her friend. What's that dude's name? Larry Watts, aren't you?
A friend. This is interesting. What do you think their relationship is, anyway?
I don't know. I've thought about it, but I don't know. I think you asked the wrong guy.
You know, I can't help but think that Larry Watts is the link that could bring this whole thing together.
Yeah. It is an awfully strange situation, isn't it?
Bizarre is more like it. You know, when Emily and Kirk first moved to Monticello, they were considered the ideal couple?
Yeah, but don't forget, nobody saw hide nor hair of Mr. Michaels.
Yeah, could have been a ghost for all we knew.
Right, and after finding out that the real Kirk Michaels has been dead for 9 years, I guess it adds a lot of credibility to that theory.
Yeah, but Emily has a husband, whoever he is, and he's disappeared now.
Yeah, but he disappeared just in time for the late Kirk Michaels' friend, Larry Watts, to show up. I don't know. I can't make anything out of it.
Well, you know what else is bothering me?
What?
I've been calling Emily all day, all night, and she's not home.
Think it could be a sign of trouble?
Larry Watts is trouble. And if she's with him...
Well, you could always call a cop.
I hate to burst your bubble, but we are cops.
Right. Cops who are just about to go on duty and have plenty of work to keep them busy without getting involved in a non-case.
I know.
Well, there's one of Monticello's finest. Maybe he can give you a hand.
Maybe he can.
You know, Derek, if you like, we could stop at your place before I go home.
Well, it's after midnight, and I've got to get up in the morning, but maybe some other time.
Well, look who's here.
Hello, Deborah.
Oh, hello, Deborah. I like your perfume. It smells a little like mace.
This is becoming a regular hangout for cops. I've seen you here before.
We bump into you so often, we might as well make reservations for 3 the next time.
That's a good idea. Chief, can I talk to you for a moment?
Sure, what's the matter? Did you forget your credit cards and they want to make you wash dishes?
No. I just wanted to tell you that Calvin and I aren't going to be at headquarters tonight.
Oh, what a shame.
We have something more important to do.
Oh, what's that?
You know this non-case we were talking about?
The Michaels thing?
Yeah. We figured a way that we can make it into a real case if we can find Larry Watts.
Is that what you want to do tonight?
Yeah, just wanted to get your permission.
Why don't you say it's okay, Derek? Then we can have our dessert in peace.
All right. All right, go ahead, but I want you to keep checking in at the department. I'm going to stop in there before I go home tonight.
Definitely.
I fixed that thing last week, you know. Don't tell me I didn't fix it right. Okay, I'll be right over.
What's up?
I gotta go to work. The brakes on the carousel are shut and I can't stop the damn thing. Be back as soon as I can.
Have fun. What do you keep hanging over him for? He's not gonna give you a tumble. He's somebody else's husband. Remember?
I'm so sorry I got you into this mess. So sorry.
Emily, come closer. Don't let her see that I'm awake. Do what I tell you, and we'll get out of this mess.
Seems as though a harmony is hard to find. Always on my mind. And frustrated days pass without sight. The edge of night, half dark, half light. Do you think we might wake